Ever find yourself totally lost when someone's speaking English?
Oh,
Like you're totally vibing with friends 1 minute and then Train Spotting comes on and it's like,
well, what language is this?
right? Is this even English anymore?
Yeah.
So that's the mystery we're tackling today. Why does English have so many wild accents?
And more importantly, how can you actually get what people are saying?
Exactly.
We'll decode the how and the why.
By the end of this deep dive, you'll be like, oh, so that's why they say it like that.
And you'll have some tricks up your sleeve to actually understand them better.
Love it. We've got some seriously fascinating info to work with today.
Oh yeah, some good stuff.
So get ready to untangle this accent puzzle.
All right, let's dive in.
Okay, so first things first, why are English accents so different?
Well, it boils down to a few biggies. The way language has moved through history, how geography splits people up,
Makes sense.
and then there's what one source calls human laziness.
Human laziness. Okay, I gotta hear more about that.
Right. It's a good one. We'll get to it.
First, history, right? Like, think about the British Empire spreading all over the globe.
Yeah, the British invasion, times like 100.
Exactly. English didn't just stay the same wherever it landed, did it?
Not a chance. It's like every time English traveled, it picked up souvenirs, you know?
Ooh, linguistic souvenirs. I like that.
Yeah, so it had to adapt to all these new places,
Hmm.
new climates, different cultures,
Right.
and a huge one mixing with the languages that were already there.
Mix it, like borrowing words and stuff.
Exactly. Like in Indian English,
Uh-huh.
they've got words straight from Hindi, like shampoo.
Oh, yeah, shampoo, totally.
That's Hindi. So you can see how all that mixing changes how people pronounce things over time.
It's like English absorbed the flavors of all these different
Right,
places.
exactly.
And then there's geography, right? If groups of people are far apart, their accents can totally drift apart too.
Oh, for sure. Like, think about the Australian accent. There's this funny idea out there that it got so nasally. Yeah, because early settlers supposedly had, like, constant colds.
Oh my gosh.
Probably
Yeah.
not the whole story, but it makes you think.
Yeah.
But the main point about being isolated leading to changes, that's spot on.
Uh-huh. Makes sense.
Another cool example is the Boston accent.
Oh, yeah. Pack the car.
Exactly. That came from British, believe it or not, like fancy folks back in the 1700s.
Really?
Then the way they talked in Britain changed, but Boston kept it going. It's like their accent is a time capsule.
So cool.
Yeah, accents can be like linguistic fossils.
I love that. A time capsule. And it wasn't just those original settlers, right? When new immigrants arrived in places where English was already being spoken.
Oh, they definitely brought their own spice in the mix.
Exactly.
Like in New York City, they say coffee, almost like coffee.
Coffee. Yeah.
That's Italian and Yiddish influence right there.
It's like all these layers of language all stacked up on top of each other.
Totally, like a linguistic lasagna.
Perfect analogy. Or how about the Southern drawl in the U.S.?
Ooh, yeah.
The way they stretch out their vowels.
That slower pace. Classic Southern.
And that comes from?
Scots-Irish settlers. They brought their way of speaking, and over time, it melded into what we hear now.
So even within a country, all these different influences.
It's mind-blowing, right? And here's one that blew my mind. You ready for this?
Hit me with it.
Shakespeare. His accent
Yeah.
probably sounded more like someone from Appalachia today than, like, a posh Londoner.
Whoa. No way.
It just shows you how much accents can change. Like, even in a few hundred years, it's a whole different ballgame,
Makes you wonder what English will sound like in another few hundred years.
doesn't it? It's always changing.
So that brings up the question, is there even a right way to pronounce anything?
Right. If it's always evolving, who decides what's correct?
Okay, let's get practical for a sec. Let's talk about the big three: American, British, and Australian.
Yeah, those are the heavy hitters.
If you're running into accent trouble, chances are it's one of these three.
Right. And there's some key differences that can really trip people up.
Okay, what should our listeners be listening for?
Well, let's start with the letter R.
Good one.
So in most American English, you've got that strong R, like in car.
Car.
But in a lot of British English, especially what they call received pronunciation,
Received pronunciation.
which is kind of like their standard fancy way of speaking, they often drop that R at the end. So car sounds more like ka.
Ka. Interesting.
And then you've got Australian English, where they sometimes flip that R around. So here can sound like hey.
Yeah. Wow. So one letter, three different sounds.
It's crazy, right?
And it's not just individual sounds, is it? There's also how they use their voices, like the overall tune of their speech.
The melody, yeah.
Yeah.
Super important. American English tends to be Pretty level.
Flat?
Yeah, not a lot of ups and downs. British RP, though, that's got more of a wave to it.
Like a song almost.
Exactly. And then Australian, they often go up at the end of their sentences, even when they're not asking a question.
So it can sound like they're asking a question when they're really not.
Exactly.
All right, listeners, time for a little challenge.
Oh, I like this.
I want you to try saying, "Can I get a bottle of water?" in 3 different ways.
Good one.
First American,
Then British.
and then Australian. Pay attention to how your mouth moves and how your voice goes up and down.
You'll start to hear those differences right away.
Okay, so now we know what to listen for. How do we actually get better at understanding all these different accents?
Don't worry, we've got a plan.
Yeah.
Step 1, try watching stuff you already know, but in an accent you're not used to.
Like switch the audio on your favorite movie.
Yeah. If you can find a UK or Aussie dub, try that.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
It's like, imagine watching The Lion King, but with Scottish accents. Or Moana with Londoner pirates.
That would be hilarious.
Right. And because you know the story, your brain can focus on the sounds, not figuring out what's happening.
Makes sense. What's step 2?
Tune into the music of the accent. Each one has its own rhythm and flow.
So it's not just the words themselves, it's how they say them.
You got it. Like Irish English has that lovely lilt, up and down, very musical.
And Scottish English.
Lots of rolled R's. In a really distinct rhythm.
Okay, and what about something like Nigerian English?
Oh, that's got such a beautiful musicality to it, too.
So even if you don't catch every word, you can kind of ride the wave of the accent.
Exactly. It gives you a framework.
Oh, okay, step 3.
Focus on what we call keyword anchors.
Keyword anchors. What are those?
So these are everyday words that are often said really differently in different accents.
Oh, I get it. So like common words that sound totally different depending on where someone's from.
Exactly. Like in Australian English, no can sound like nor.
No, okay.
And in Scottish English, can't often sounds like cannae.
Interesting.
And in the American South, it's all about y'all instead of you all.
Oh, yeah. Y'all is a classic.
So if you learn these little variations in common words, it's like having signposts in the accent. They help you navigate the rest.
Love it. Okay, final step.
This one's simple, but people forget it all the time. Just ask.
Just ask. Like, hey, what did you say?
Yeah. If you genuinely can't understand someone, it's totally okay to politely ask about their accent. You can say something like, "Excuse me, I love your accent. Where are you from?"
That's a good line.
And most people love talking about their background.
They do.
Plus, when you ask, they often slow down a bit or speak more clearly.
It's a win-win. So it's not rude to ask. It actually helps both people communicate better.
Exactly.
Now, before we wrap up, I wanted to share some stories from our listeners about real-life accent confusion.
Oh, yeah, these are always good.
At Marion Soul told us about being in Ireland, and someone asked if they wanted a chin wag.
A chin wag.
It took them a minute to realize it just meant chat.
Sometimes it's the words themselves that throw you off, not just the sounds.
So true. And at Lingua Luca told us they were in Jamaica, and someone kept saying ting.
Ting.
Well, like, pass me the ting. Turned out it just meant thing.
It just goes to show English is full of surprises no matter where you go.
Okay, time for a little fun before we go. It's time for accent karaoke. But remember, this is all about recognizing patterns, not making fun of anyone. Okay.
Got it.
So if you wanted to try out a Scouse accent, that's from Liverpool,
Okay.
you might throw in a lot of likes. And bus becomes buzz.
So, like, I'm not sure, like, which buzz to get, like...
Perfect. Now how about a New Yorker?
Ooh, a New Yorker. You got to talk fast, maybe squint a bit.
And blame everything on the weather.
Yeah, like, forget about it. It's the humidity.
Nailed it. Last one, let's try Kiwi. That's from New Zealand.
All right, Kiwi, bring it on.
Classic Kiwi. You got to change fish and chips to fish and chups.
Fish and chops? I could go for some of that right now.
Me too. All right, now for your listener challenge this week.
Here we go.
We want you to watch something with an accent you're not super familiar with. Could be a show, a movie, even just a clip online.
Ooh, some good suggestions. How about Dairy Girls for a Northern Irish accent?
Oh, Dairy Girls is great.
Or maybe The Wire for Baltimore American English.
Ooh, classic. Or if you want some Aussie slang, check out Kath and Kim.
Love it.
So while you're watching, write down 3 words they say differently than you would.
Yeah, really tune in.
And this is the fun part,
The challenge.
try to say one of those phrases out loud in the accent.
Embrace the awkwardness. It's all part of the learning.
Like, you might hear someone with the Scottish accent say, wee bairn, which means small child, not a tiny bear.
And if you're feeling brave, post your attempt online. You might inspire someone else to try, too.
As we wrap up our accent adventure, remember, different accents aren't wrong, they're just different. They show us how rich and diverse English really is.
Yeah, it's not about changing how anyone speaks. It's about broadening your understanding.
Every accent has a story, like a fingerprint of where someone's been and what they've experienced.
Exactly.
So next time you hear an accent that throws you off, remember, there's a story here, and I'm going to understand it.
Beautiful. It's like a little puzzle, and you've got the pieces to solve it.
And on that note, I'll leave you with a thought from Rita Mae Brown. Language is the roadmap of a culture. Tell me your accent, and I'll tell you where you've been. Keep exploring, and we'll catch you on our next deep dive.